Hey beautiful people, what's up? And welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm sharing with you some pantry inspired meals because we just got back from a beautiful vacation. And instead of being the adult who says, hey, I'm gonna go to the grocery store today, buy all of our groceries for the next 2 weeks or so, meal plan, I decided, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna save a little bit of money, dig through my pantry, find a ton of ingredients that I can throw together and make meals. I typically do this every 6, 7, or 8 weeks for our own grocery budget because it allows me to use up what we have on hand, and that in bonus makes me save money at the grocery store. I can usually squeak out 4 to 7 days worth of random ingredient meals, and I thought I would share what I am building today for our meal plan for the week to help inspire you to go through your pantry, maybe have an odd meal that turns out fantastic, lets you feel like you're on the Food Network show Chopped, or maybe find a new meal that you want to make over and over again. So come on, let's go through my pantry and see what we can get into today.
Like I said, I typically do this every 6, 7, 8 weeks. I do it often, and for a couple of reasons. One, I'm using up ingredients we have on hand that are like little bits and bobs, and I'm finding ways to utilize them so they don't go to waste. Two, it does save us money because let's be honest, I grocery plan as best to my ability, but plans always change, or I buy in abundance and we have extra. So it's really nice. As you can see, I have like a couple half open freezer bags of veggies that definitely need to get used up, and I hate food waste. So I'm just really hoping this will inspire you to maybe go through your pantry, fridge, freezer, pull out about a bunch of ingredients out and make some meals for the week ahead or for the upcoming summer months just to save yourself some money. I was able to pull off 4 days worth of meals for us, so I saved quite a bit of money not running to the grocery store right away.
I thought it would be so much easier to give you an overview of the meals I was making. So we're gonna start out with lentil tacos. I have this really ugly onion that was at the bottom of my little onion / potato basket in my pantry. I'm gonna chop it up, see if I can get some onion out of it. And I'll make the lentils on the stovetop. I have a couple of these shells left over, so probably enough for like 1 lunch or 1 meal, but I'll make extra lentils to have them on hand so I can add them with pasta later in the week. And then I'm gonna shred the carrots, and there'll be like a shredded crunchiness to the top. It's gonna be really good. And I'll add seasonings. I'll show you those here in a little bit. I had some pumpkin and cornmeal in my pantry, so I'm going to make a really quick cornmeal bread. I'll just go ahead and add some baking soda, some water, probably a little bit of cinnamon, and it's gonna be really good. I'll type out the recipe as to what I do down in the description box, but literally it's gonna be so simple, and it's gonna be like a perfect breakfast or snack, and very little ingredients. My husband loves the little energy bites, so I'm going to make him some of those, and then I'll have probably the pumpkin bread for a snack, but this can be like a breakfast or even a snack for him to take on the go. I have all these ingredients left over. I also have some extra peanut butter if I need it, but I just have peanut butter, ground flax, chia seeds, chocolate chips, gluten-free quick oats, and some blue agave syrup. And you could also use maple syrup or honey if you wanted. Literally, you can make these out of like any additives that you have. You could add nuts, you could add raisins, dried fruit, but I will also type the recipe down below for this. It's actually Kim at the Wads recipe. I love it, it's phenomenal. It turns out perfect every single time. So I'm just gonna make this up really quickly. And again, it's just out of pantry ingredients that I have that I can use up and save a little bit of money this week. Over here, we have ingredients of what are going to be a lunch / dinner. And I'm just gonna prep it all ahead, and we'll see how many meals it gets us through. I also have beans in the freezer I can use, but I do wanna go ahead and make these black beans. I'll make those in my pressure cooker, and I don't know if I'll make the rice yet. Pressure cooker or stovetop, we'll see. I had some leftover bags of frozen veggies that need used up, so I'm gonna throw those in, roast some broccoli, and then I have some tomatoes, corn, and I'll add some seasoning, and it'll be the perfect little bowl, like a little rice boodle bowl. It's gonna be really good. And like I said, you can make it ahead, and literally I'm just using all these little ingredients that I have on hand that definitely need used up.
I found this little guy hiding in the back of my pantry, and that is going in as well. So you just need a jar of salsa.
This is a really sad start to what's probably going to be a banana donut, banana muffin, or a banana bread. I'm gonna get other components in here in just a little bit, like flaxseed, some oats, cinnamon, but basically I have a ton of bananas. Actually, I have 2 frozen bags of bananas like this in my freezer, and I said, you know what? I keep saying I'm gonna use them for smoothies, and I do, but I don't get through them quick enough, so I'm gonna take some out and let those thaw, and then I do have some gluten-free flour, but I'm gonna have to add some oats to that just because I don't have enough. and we're gonna make a beautiful, like I said, banana bread, banana donut, something magical is gonna happen out of these two ingredients. I did want to also show you really quickly, I do have green beans and mixed vegetables on hand, and I have tons of pasta. So I'm most likely going to have at least 2 meals just doing pasta with a red sauce and vegetables for later this week.
I thought I'd also share with you a really quick little mini pantry tour. I like to save all of my jars. If you watch a lot of my videos, you already know this, but just kind of sharing with you what I have on hand and what I was digging through when I was thinking of ideas. And while we were on our trip, we drove, so I was able to kind of take some notes and go, what should I make? So I kind of already pre-planned for this video, but here is just kind of an overview of my pantry. I have a little spot for my canned goods. I don't have too much going on right now, so I'm just showing you small little clips, but here you are.
So this is the bucket where I normally keep my onions and potatoes, and I do have some flour down here, so if I want to, I could definitely make some bread this week for my husband. I also have 2 packs of spaghetti, and these I want to show you. I got these at Costco, and there's 8 pouches in here, and they were on discount for $4. So that's 50 cents a pouch, which is incredible because usually these are like $2 at Winco, sometimes 2 for $5 at Smith's, and they're just a single packet, so I have quite a few of these that we're going to use up this week. And like I said, they're just a little packet and you can put them over rice, so I'll make some extra rice and this will be delicious as well. These are amazing, especially to take on the go. My husband can take them to work with some rice, I can take them to work. Definitely a great find at Costco. I feel like this is like a one and only find, and I probably should have stocked up, but I had never had these before, like this flavor. I've had the Tasty Bites before, never this flavor. I'll probably never get them for this price again, let's be honest, but they're super good and we have a few of them left, so we can have them this week too.
Let's go ahead and jump into this first recipe. So I decided to make a rice or a Buddha bowl, and I only had 1 bag of frozen broccoli, but that's okay. I did dig around my freezer and find another bag of frozen green beans, so we had those for an additional meal, but I popped those into the oven and I just added a little bit of sea salt to those. My husband is the one who's able to eat all the broccoli in the world. I, however, cannot stomach it. My stomach doesn't love it. So I found a recipe thanks to asking Google. I won't say her name out loud because I get so many comments about that. And she found a recipe for a no-soak stovetop bean, and I was like, okay, let's try it. So I put the lime in there, cooked them up. They were on the stovetop for over an hour, just simmering. And then I added the salsa and the corn and the veggies, and then I took the limes out and then cooked them for another 45 minutes. So they were definitely on the stovetop for a really long time, but the flavor is phenomenal. So if you are someone who doesn't want to take the time to soak your beans overnight, maybe doesn't have a pressure cooker, an instant pot, I highly recommend just finding a recipe on Google or even Pinterest. These were so good, so flavorful. The lime was amazing. I'll share with you the other seasonings that I added, but I went ahead and just cooked up 6 cups of rice and had that here on the side. So good. My husband loved this meal. And like I said, I can't eat broccoli, but I'm okay to do the veggies with beans and corn and rice. That's a phenomenal meal for me, in my opinion. I think that's perfect. Of course, I could just eat beans and rice all the time, but because I share recipes here on YouTube, I feel like I should be a little bit more creative. So you guys help me be creative as well.
Let's talk seasoning. So my seasoning cabinet has come a long ways in the last couple months, I would say, since we moved here. I mean, I literally used to just season everything with salt and garlic. Do you guys remember that? Let me know down below. I've come a long ways. My seasoning cabinet still needs a little bit of work, I feel like, in the organizational part, but I feel like it's getting there. I just got these seasonings from Auntie Nono's and I am obsessed. So I'm gonna use a lot of these in today's recipes. If you have never checked out Auntie Nono's, I will link them down below. And of course, they have sent me a spectacular discount to share with all of you.
I first want to say thank you all. You're the real MVPs for not giving up on me in the seasoning department and constantly saying, girl, you need to try different things than salt and garlic. Oh yes, I am so glad I tried different things. This firecracker seasoning is my husband and I's favorite. It is spicy, but like levels of flavor. It's amazing. And then second favorite is the seafood blend, but don't worry, there's no actual seafood in it. All of these are kosher and vegan friendly. It's actually like paprika and lemon and brown sugar. And then I was actually really skeptical because I don't like the texture of everything bagel, but they won me over with this one because it's like powdered and ground down. It's amazing.
I am so incredibly pumped to be partnering with Auntie Nono's for today's video. You guys know I talk about this all the time. I used to just be a salt and garlic lover because I used to tell you I was just like too lazy to figure out how to season my food. When I was new to plant-based, I was like, it's fine. I like the way food tastes. My husband, however, is a seasoning and sauce king. So when I went plant-based, he went plant-based too because I am the chef. And so I'm so excited to find seasonings that we both love that literally we put on everything. This is actually my second batch of these. I ordered some and that's how much we love them. So you can use my code Miranda30 to save 30% off your order plus free shipping. Like I said, his favorite is the firecracker. Mine is a seafood, but don't be intimidated by the name seafood. If you're plant-based or vegan like me, it's still vegan. It's just what's recommended for that seasoning. But personally, we love it with pinto beans and tacos. It's got like a little bit of brown sugar and lemon and paprika. Literally so good. These took my food today from like a 2 of being like, it's a pantry meal, to a 10. To being like restaurant quality for super inexpensive. They helped me be creative today, help me use items in my pantry that I needed to use up, and of course, save some money. So make sure you check out the link down below, get yourself some Auntie Nonos, and tag me over on Instagram when you try them. If you want me to go ahead and make a gluten-free bread using the Everything Bagel seasoning, let me know down in the comments. I have a bread recipe I've been dying to try. I did not make it today because I did not have enough gluten-free flour and I haven't run to the store. So let me know down below if you'd like me to try that. And I cannot wait for you guys to try these seasonings out.
I went ahead and skinned that onion and it was literally near perfect. I was really actually shocked because I was like, oh man, this onion's not gonna be any good. So I went ahead and made my favorite stovetop lentils. I make these all the time. They're so simple. You go ahead and add 1 cup of water to 1 cup of lentils. I did 3 and 3 here. You put them on the stove, bring them to a boil, and then bring them down to low heat and let them simmer for 30 minutes. Then the carrots, I just went ahead and shredded up, added some Auntie Nono's, which this seasoning is like a barbecue-y kind of flavor with the paprika and the lemon, and it's so good. It's so good. It had so much depth to your food. So literally you can take like the most simple meal and amp it up with the most beautiful seasonings and it feels like you have restaurant quality lentils. It's amazing. So this meal was super good. I had so many lentils left over that I used later in the week to add to pasta or just with rice, because you'll see here in a little bit I did make a ton of rice, but this meal was so good. I had 4 taco shells left, which how does that happen to me? I don't know, but this meal was fantastic. I hope you give this one a try. You can also do it with slaw. It would be really good that way too. I did want to go ahead and share with you just the rice I made really quickly to go with the first meal. I made 6 cups of dry rice and then added a bunch of that beautiful firecracker seasoning. It's so good. It adds so much flavor and depth to rice. So we had a lot of rice left over for the lentils, for the black beans, and I had some left over that I could just use with the beans I had in the freezer as well. So definitely recommend that with rice.
Okay, I have 5 bananas that are about unthawed. I would say there's a little bit of frost on there, but that's okay. I'm gonna add 1.5 cups of gluten-free flour, of course, cinnamon, and there is no level of cinnamon that is enough. Seriously, there isn't. I also have these unsweetened coconut flakes, and I'm gonna add like 1/2 cup of those too, just to add some more texture. And then baking soda and a little bit of baking powder. I went ahead and mixed all that up and decided I did want to add something else because it's real sticky, as you can see. So I added 3/4 cup of oatmeal. Don't worry, I'll type this recipe and leave it in the description box. I'm also going to make a flax egg. I'm just waiting for my little grinder food processor to charge, and then I'll grind up some flaxseed and make a flax egg.
I'm sure you all know how to make a flax egg, but you just take ground flax and add equal parts of flax and water. And don't worry if you can't eat flax, because I know a lot of you can't digest it. Just leave it out of this recipe. It doesn't make a huge difference.
So I went ahead and just took this 8x8 baking dish and just put in some silicone muffin liners, and I'm gonna make banana muffins with this batter.
This was definitely the star of the show. These muffins were so good. I had them after my runs in the morning, before my workouts in the evening. If you haven't seen my last What I Eat in a Day, definitely check that out. It'll kind of give you a in-depth layout of how my weekdays are structured and why I make my meals ahead of time. So I love spending a couple hours like this on the weekends or during the week and just getting all my food ready to go. So the last thing here I'm making are those energy bites. Like I said, I just got this recipe from Kim at the Wads, and honestly, I don't even measure it anymore. My husband loves these. He takes them to work with him, and then all of his work people eat them too. So I feel like I can make really big batches of these every couple of days and people can enjoy them. I can't eat peanut butter. I was out of almond butter. When I make these, I eat them so fast. I will eat them for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack, everything. But they're super easy, super pantry forward, and really budget friendly because you can literally add anything you have on hand. You don't have to add chia seeds or flax seeds if you don't want to. You could just do oats and a nut butter or a pumpkin or applesauce or bananas. I have made these, I feel like, hundreds of different ways. You go ahead and refrigerate them for about an hour, and then you roll them into little bites, and then you pop them back in the refrigerator and eat them cold. Kim over at the Wads doesn't even roll them to balls, which I think is so funny. She always just say like, I just put this in the refrigerator and we just eat out of it with a spoon, which I think is awesome. So here they are, little bites, and they are so good. Well, actually, I don't know if these are good. I'm assuming yes, but here they are. And of course, I have this pumpkin cornbread, which turned out really well. I also found this little box of coconut milk in my refrigerator. Decided to go ahead and add that. It wasn't quite enough, so I did have to go and add about a cup of almond milk. So that made it so my husband couldn't enjoy these, but it's okay. See, it's difficult in a house. I understand if you're allergic to nuts or seeds. I truly do, because he can't have certain ones and I can't have certain ones. So I went ahead and added 2 cups of cornmeal. I had a little tiny bit left. That's okay. A teaspoon of baking powder, and then that coconut milk, which ended up being about a half cup, the can of pumpkin, and then another cup and a half of almond milk, which I kind of just eyeballed at this point because I could kind of see the texture that was happening with the cornbread. And unfortunately, you're gonna see here at the end, I left it in for a little too long in the oven, but it's okay. It was still edible. It still tasted really, really good. And I highly recommend trying this recipe out. I'll type what I did and leave the recipe in the description box. It was like a great breakfast snack. A lot of these items were breakfast and snacks, which is how I choose to live my life. Okay. I just think that you can never have enough good breakfast and snack ideas to kind of change things up a little bit. And this was really good. Honestly, I would leave off the cinnamon and put this on top of a chili bake to have like a savory, sweet pumpkin cornbread chili bake. It would be really delicious. So I popped it in the oven at 350. I accidentally left it in for 45 minutes. It should only been in there for 30.
This is the cornbread, and although it does not look awesome, I mean, it's not burnt or anything. It's just like a little overcooked. I put it in there for 30 minutes, kind of forgot about it. Even though it doesn't look awesome, it tastes really good. The flavor is there. I kind of wish I would have made waffles instead, but learn for next time. The waffle will probably be so much better, and then I won't forget about them. But definitely give this recipe a go. I will type it out, leave it in the description box. I am so thankful you guys decided to tune in to today's video. I hope it gave you some meal inspo for your own pantry in case you have some things to use up. I like to kind of go through everything in my pantry like you saw I did in the beginning, pull out everything, and then just kind of group it together into meal ideas. I also kind of like to pretend I'm on the TV show Chopped. If you watch that on Food Network, let me know down below. And try new things. I mean, literally, if you know you're gonna like the components in the meal and it's all together, you have a 50-50 chance. Either you're gonna love it or you're gonna eat it and say, wow, I'm never making this again. But let me tell you, oh, of course, you already know this, but seasonings make all the difference. I'm also so excited to share with you that today, I have a really big announcement. Oh my gosh, I'm a little bit nervous. So as you know, over the last 2 years of being here on YouTube, I've released multiple ebooks and also tried to think of a better way to release more recipes because I have so many ideas that are popping around in my head. And what I decided to do is do a monthly subscription, if you will, that releases 10 new recipes every single month to you guys. So basically it's like you guys getting a new ebook every single month on the 5th of the month. So down below, you'll find all the details to this monthly service. It is not a meal plan. It is just new recipes, and they're all themed each and every month. This month's meals are pantry ingredient themed, so all of the meals have to do with pantry ingredients, things you should already have on hand or maybe need to purchase just to stock up your pantry, but literally so many easy things. Plus, I added some substitute ideas in case you have allergies, and you always have access to my email to ask me questions in case you can't have something in one of the recipes or just need a substitute in general. But the best news is this service is only 99 cents per month. That's it. 99 cents per month. You can sign up and cancel at any time. And if you ever choose to cancel, the content that has been posted during your subscription and before, you have access to for forever. So if you sign up this month and decide to cancel in 6 months, you have the ability to keep those 6 months worth of recipes. They're always yours. You always have them. I'm so excited to share with you not only this month's recipes, but the recipes to come. Like I said, they're all theme related. I have holiday recipes, hosting, birthday party, one pan meals, sheet pan meals, meals that are direct like pasta, potatoes, rice, etc. All available for you guys for just 99 cents a month. Literally, you can't beat it if you are someone who just needs recipe inspo or want to use them in your weekly repertoire so you can build a grocery list off of them. I'm so excited to bring this service to you, and I can't wait for you all to utilize it. But now, going into the remaining of this video, I wanted to share with you my herb garden. I feel like I have 2 huge announcements. So a lot of you have told me for about a year when we told you we were going to build a home, you absolutely have to do a garden. And I gotta be honest with you, even though I eat plants, greenery is not my favorite. I feel like it's a lot of work for someone like me who works a lot, plus I have YouTube as a hobby. Not only that, we just live in such a dry desert climate that I'm really worried about wasting water. If you guys know, the whole world is in a water shortage, but especially in the desert. And for me personally, it's just not one of my highest priorities, but I did a ton of research on which herbs I could grow here, the minimal ones that needed like very little time, very little care, and very little water. And I want to share with you kind of what I did. I'm excited about it. Fingers crossed I can keep them all alive, because I feel like one extra day in the sun and they're all just gonna like shrivel up. But I do feel like this is a great way to be budget forward when it comes to seasoning my food and adding fresh herbs, because I am someone who will go out and buy a packet of basil for like $4 when I can buy a whole plant of basil for $2.69. So come with me along. We're going to do a quick plant chopping, and I'll show you the herb garden that I'm putting together. My husband's gonna help me build it. It's just gonna be a really fun time. So let's jump in to the second half of this video. I hope you enjoy. Oh, and if you are an herb gardener and you have any tips for me or any ideas for me to plant additional herbs, I only got a few to start. I have an 8-pot planter, but if you have any tips, leave them down below. Of course, easy, kind comments when it comes to beginner gardener, because hi, never had a garden before, never done herbs, nothing like that. We're starting out really small. We might do tomatoes, maybe snap peas, but we'll see. We're taking it one day at a time. Come on, let me show you what I purchased.
Okay, I have to just say, I kind of get it. I kind of understand why so many people are into gardening. So many people have told me in the comments, it's so therapeutic to just put your hands in the dirt. 100%. And mainly I say this because I had the time to do it today, but that's not a common thing for me. I also wanted to just take you really quickly. I'm just at Lowe's, which they do have a really wide variety. It's the closest thing for me. I could have definitely went to the garden center, probably got better. I don't know if they would have been better or grown in the same spot, but we had a lot of variety. Lots of berries, pomegranate, lemon, orange trees, which I gotta admit, there was a moment where I said, Joe, I think I eventually want a lemon tree, because how good does that sound? Let me know down below, what do you guys grow? I know there's a lot of gardeners that follow me, and you guys, like I said, I get it. I totally get it. I just feel like timing wise, I don't have a lot of time to spend on it. So this little herb box will kind of have to be my little venture for now. But these plants, when I'm looking at them, I feel like you just kind of your mind is going, oh my gosh, this would be so cool to have all of this ready and accessible. zucchini, tomatoes, eggplant. So I went into the herbs and I tried to find the ones that weren't dying in the sun. That's one thing I wish they would have had some shade over these. And I just kind of dug through. I got some parsley, 2 different kinds. I got flat leaf and is this curried? I don't know how to say it. Parsley. It smells really good. I also got some spearmint. So many people gave me really good advice when I was asking on Instagram. I took a poll and asked in a question box, okay, what would you grow? A lot of people said rosemary is really hard to kill. Basil's easy to kill because it just gets scorched in the heat. And you'll probably see here in a little bit, like all the basil was dead because it's just sitting in the sun. So mine's currently in the shade. Hopefully it will last. Mint, a lot of you told me mint takes over everything, so I got spearmint in hopes that I could make like a really good lemonade or put spearmint in my water. I thought that sounded so good. I don't know. What else did I grab? This is the flat leaf parsley. Again, smelled really good, but I had to kind of dig around and find one that looked promising. The last thing I want to do is buy a plant and then, it dies. But with Lowe's money back guarantee, you have an entire year. And if these die, I can bring them back to Lowe's with my receipt and say, hey guys, these died. Whether it's my fault or the sun's fault or their fault, which is kind of crazy, I feel like. Sweet basil. Sweet basil. I found one that wasn't completely dying and it looks pretty good right now and it's been a couple days. So hopefully she stays alive because I want to use her for the weekend and make some pasta. So my little cart is all filled up and here I am on my way home to take my potting soil and plants with me. Okay, here is the little herb garden that I purchased and I got this on Amazon. It's an 8 slot and okay, a couple of things. I was certain I'd be able to put this together by myself. It did come with some little tools and these like 100 of these little markers, which I was like, oh my gosh, what are they expecting me to grow? There's like 100 of them in there. I got a pair of gloves, which I did not use. I'll give those to my little friend. Like I said, a little spade and shovel. I don't know. So I had to enlist the help of my husband for a couple reasons. One, the directions, whoever wrote these does not speak English. And I don't mean that to be mean or anything, but they were written in a way where I could not understand what they were trying to say. And you can see here, I was like trying to explain to my husband. He's like, just let me see the pictures. Thank goodness he is really handy. And look how beautiful it is. It took us about 20 minutes to put together. And oh, they didn't give us enough screws. So that's another thing I had to get at Lowe's. And I send my husband out for another bag of potting soil because I didn't realize how much it would take. So my herbs are a little low right now. It's okay. They're fine. They got another bag of potting soil and a half, so they're up a little higher. But look how pretty, you guys. After 2 years of you hounding me in the comments, look what I have. It's just a small start. I still have a couple of boxes open, but I'm hoping I can spread them out a little bit. Let me know if I'm able to do that. I guess I read up on it, and like mint and parsley, I should be able to spread out. Same with the rosemary, and then we'll kind of like fill in the gaps. So here we go.
Thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you really enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed all the food inspo and the beginner garden inspo. If you can really call an herb garden a garden, I don't know. I feel super garden forward. I feel like I need a watering can and a big straw hat, but I really enjoyed sharing all of today's video with you. Like I said, check out Auntie Nono's down below. Use my code Miranda30 to save 30% off, and check out my new menu subscription down in the description box as well. I'll see you next Thursday in a brand new video. Bye-bye.